Carlotta is coming soon, baby, and yes, I'm still live. Yes, Wuthering Waves videos are back, so our Star Rail streams will be coming too. We're cooking again. There will be a lot of stuff coming out. Sorry for the long break. Just a lot of stuff going on in life. Carlotta is coming out 5-star Glacio, which is huge, and a gun character. Crazy. I was wondering why they even had gun characters in the game for a minute there, but we're getting a 5-star Glacio DPS gun character, so get ready. If you haven't seen anything about her, we have her animations here, and they're not sketchy this time. They're just on IGN. IGN posted them. You can watch this whole thing, actually. It shows a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming in 2.0. Besides just both new characters, but I'm just going to be covering Carlotta in this video. I have her kit on this website, which I'll put a link to in the description below. But then I broke it down even further here in this kind of Excel spreadsheet type deal. So with this, you can kind of see things. I had like highlighted the keywords here, like when it says, oh, substance, you can see I have it in blue, and then you can go and find, oh, here is the substance thing to explain what substance is, you know, kind of what's going on in the heavy attack or whatnot. So I've kind of color coded it and broken it down. We've got normal tech, skill, liberation, then we got her resonance chain and stuff here. So if you want to check this out, let me know and I can put it in like my Discord or something for you to download and whatnot. And with the intro out of the way, let's just get into her kit. First thing I'm going to talk about is farmability. She's a super unfarmable character because she's dropping in the big 2.0 with everything, the whole new area and everything. There's just not really anything to farm for her. You can get shell credits, you can get more resonance XP for her, and then you can go out and get the flames necessary to upgrade her skills and whatnot. But everything else, you gotta wait. These, the polygon cores, only are in the 2.0 area, cannot pre-farm. Platinum cores, 2.0 area. The Nether War Stair, that's like the new boss drop that you can do like 3 times per week, I believe. That is gonna be in the 2.0 area, cannot pre-farm. And then even the flower. Even the flower, you cannot pre-farm because it's in the new area. So unfortunately, not a lot of pre-farming you can do. There is the event going on where you can get double rewards for these 3 times per day in the when you go and do the farming event. So you can go and get some of these ready if you really want Carlotta, but everything else kind of gotta wait, sadly. So with the materials out of the way, we're gonna jump into my spreadsheet here and the animations here to tie them together so you understand what you're looking at, what is actually happening when you're using her in game, besides just, oh, I read this, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense when I'm, you know, fighting. So we'll do that. But just quickly, this website as a resource, again, I'll leave a link below. You can see essential materials, talent materials. It has all the kit information here. It has all the numbers too, so if you're into the math of it, you can go check that out. And you can also slide it here too, and it changes the numbers. Like, this is a level 4 skill. This is a level 7 skill, level 10. So that's really nice. A great resource. It also has other characters coming out, like Roccia. So we got her in there, and then you can check out other older characters if you're just interested in general. So there's that. But let's get into the spreadsheet, and I'm going to start out with her forte because it has some important information in it that's going to tie into the other areas, as you can see with all of the highlighted text here. So I'm going to start with this because it'll hopefully help the understanding of what's going on in her normal attack, her resonance skill, and her resonance liberation to help tie it together. So with her forte, I'm actually going to start at the bottom here with moldable crystal because it's the most basic that doesn't involve knowing other abilities. It's just kind of like his own thing. So moldable crystal. Carlotta can hold up to 6 moldable crystals. Basically, here you're going to try and get moldable crystals because it's going to give you other things when you use them. And so you cannot gain moldable crystal while in your Twilight Tango state, which is triggered after you use your Resonance Liberation, your ultimate. But you can gain 3 moldables when you use Basic Attack Stage 2. You can get 3 moldables when casting Heavy Attack. You can get 3 moldables upon casting Mid-Air Attack. You can get 3 moldable upon casting your intro skill, 3 moldable upon casting your resonance skill, and then 3 moldable upon a successful dodge. Now, you can see you'll only hold 6 moldables. So you're like, oh, but I can earn 3, 3, 3. It's because you're going to be converting moldable into substance here, which I'm about to talk about. You're going to want to be able to be gaining all of these moldables so you can keep converting it into substance. Because you want to get max substance, because then you'll enter this final bow thing, which we'll get to. But let's talk about substance here. So, Carlotta can hold up to 120 points of substance. You cannot gain substance while you're in the Twilight Tango, which is triggered by your Resonance Lib, your ult. But you can restore 30 substance upon casting your intro skill, Wintertime Aria. So you're going to want to cast that intro skill because it's going to give you 30 substance and 3 moldables. So you want to cast the intro skill when you're bringing her into battle. Then you can also restore 10 substance for every 1 moldable consumed upon casting Resonance skill Chromatic Splendor. You can restore 10 substance for every 1 moldable consumed when casting basic attack necessary measures, and you can consume 1 moldable and restore 10 substance upon casting dodge counter. So basically, you see 1 moldable is going to give you 10 substance when you do any of those things, and your goal is to get up to 120. Because when you get 120 substance, you're going to enter Final Bow. When the substance is full, enter the Final Bow state, which will increase the damage multiplier of your Resonance Liberation, Era of New Wave, your Resonance Liberation Death Knell, and your Resonance Liberation Fatal Finale by 80%. So basically, it makes it a whole lot stronger, almost doubles how strong it is. This effect ends when Carlotta is switched off the field during her Twilight Tango or when the Twilight Tango ends. Twilight Tango, again, is during her Resonance Liberation. We'll talk about that in a second. So are the Death Knell and the Fatal Finale. But basically, you want that substance up, and then you're going to launch your Resonance Liberation because you're going to do a whole lot more damage now that you've earned all the substance and entered the Final Bow state. Final Bow? It's definitely Final Bow. I don't know why I said bow. It's 10% Final Bow. But, yes. And then here, just to finish off our Forte circuit, we have the Heavy Attack, Imminent Oblivion. So Carlotta will activate Tinted Crystal every 22 seconds. And when your substance is full and the Tinted Crystal is activated, hold Normal Attack to consume all substance and cast Heavy Attack, Imminent Oblivion. After which, Tinted Crystal enters cooldown. You'll deal Glacio damage, which will be considered as Resonance skill damage, and then reduce the cooldown of Resonance skill Art of Violence by 6 seconds. So, as you can see, you kind of have 2 options here when your substance is full. You can either pop your ultimate, your Resonance Liberation, or you can use the Heavy Attack, Imminent Oblivion to use your substance. That's going to be dependent on, you know, what situation you're in. If maybe you don't have your Resonance Liberation all the way filled up, you would use instead then your Heavy Attack. So that's the importance of substance. Now we're going to jump to the basic normal attack stuff because it's real simple and we can watch some animations, which is going to be a lot more fun than sitting here watching me read. So her basic attack, you can perform 2 strikes, Glacio damage, basic attack necessary measures with multiple crystals. Carlotta's basic attack is replaced with necessary measures. Chain up to 3 strikes, dealing Glacio damage. Each strike necessary measures consumes a moldable. She has a heavy attack. She has a heavy attack containment tactics, which is when your substance is full, her heavy attack will be replaced with containment tactics. Consume all substance, which is what I just explained over here. They're the same thing. You're consuming all your substance to deal Glacio damage and reduce the cooldown of skill Art of Violence. Mid-air attack, you have a mid-air attack. You have a mid-air attack customary greeting where you're going to flip over the target. It just looks cooler. And then you have a dodge counter, and then you will be able to consume a moldable, which we talked about here, which will give you some substance. Now, let's see her in action. Let's see our beautiful Carlotta doing the thing. So, we have Carlotta here against the Vitrium Dancer, Warden of Archive, which looks like it's 3 enemies who share, like, the big health bar at the top. They have their individual ones, but if real quick, actually, if we go back a moment, where's my mouse? There it is. If we go back to Carlotta here. Oop, didn't mean to make it small. Boom, boom. You can see there, the little snowflake to the left of her. That is your moldable crystal. That shows your stacks. She has 3 stacks there, can get 3 more, the 6 total. So that's how you can kind of get a visual on that if you're like, how many do I have? There you go. We have Judgy doing some action here. Don't worry, Carlotta's going to come back. I'm not just showing you some Judgy gameplay for fun. Carlotta is going to come back, and when she does, right here, she casts her intro skill. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, she used her Resonance skill, and you can see there that this guy, it's a little hard to tell when I'm pausing it, but you can kind of see in action. He's like, it looks like he's covered in ice. He's frozen. Well, the reason for that is in her Resonance skill here, when you use it, she'll deal Glacio damage and inflict Dispersion on the target, and Dispersion, well, immobilizes them for 1.5 seconds. So that's what the Dispersion is when they're like frozen. So we have that going on. And then she actually is launching here her second Resonance skill, which is the Chromatic Splendor. You'll consume all your multiple crystals and deal Glacio damage. And then the Resonance skill enters a cooldown after a while if the Chromatic Splendor is not cast or if Carlotta is switched up the field. But the second Resonance skill she casts here, so if I jump back just a moment, just a tad here. Boom, intro skill. attack, boom, resonance skill, boom, chromatic splendor right there. She dives down. Then that winged creature is an echo, a new echo that you can get in 2.0 here. Boom, 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 boom. She's attacking. You can see here at the bottom here on her forte gauge. It's a little hard to see with the YouTube bar there, but it's literally just above the YouTube kind of watch bar here. You can see it just got filled up. That means she has maximum substance. She's got maximum substance. I knew it was something with an S. Maximum substance. And then she launches here, that heavy attack I mentioned. Boom. That's the heavy attack. She launches her resonance skill again there both times. And then she fires off here her resonance liberation. Now, let me quickly explain what you're seeing here, because you're probably like, what the hell is going on there? It looks cool. Looks cool. Looks sick. But what does her resonance liberation actually do? So, the original resonance liberation is called Era of New Wave. You will deal glacial damage to all targets in the area, considered resonance skill damage, and inflict destruction on targets that are hit. Then you will activate your Twilight Tango, and this can be cast in midair close to the ground. Now, what is deconstruction that you're inflicting on the targets? You're just ignoring 18% of their defense for anyone that has deconstruction on them. And now we finally get to Twilight Tango, which I've mentioned a couple times, but now we get to know what it actually is. So, while you're in your Twilight Tango, when you use your normal attack or your Resonance Liberation, you're going to cast Death Knell. Each Death Knell will grant you 1 meta vector. With 4 meta vectors, don't really too much about the meta vectors, but with 4 meta vectors, when you cast your normal attack or Resonance Liberation, you're going to cast your Fatal Finale, which we'll get to at the bottom there. But basically, all substances removed when activating and ending your Twilight Tango. You cannot perform basic attack necessary measures, the heavy attack containment tactics, and heavy attack imminent oblivion while in the Twilight Tango. So keep that in mind. Your Death Knell, which I mentioned, when you're in the Twilight Tango and use a normal attack or the Res Lib, again, to cast your Death Knell. Death Knell is Carlotta fires powerful shots with her musket and summons 4 crystal shards to attack the target, dealing glacial damage, which is considered as resonance skill damage. Carlotta moves in the direction of the movement input with each shot of Death Knell. Then, as I mentioned, you will enter the Fatal Finale. Fatal Finale, deal glacial damage to an area considered resonance skill damage, and your Twilight Tango ends after casting Fatal Finale. So, let's jump back in here. We'll jump back a couple moments here. Boom, 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 boom. Resonance skill. Bang, 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 bang. Boom. Resonance liberation. Bang, boom, boom, bang. Now we're firing our big shots here. Those 4 big shots are part of your Twilight Tango and actually your Death Knell, because those are the powerful shots from her musket. So that's your Death Knell right there. Those big, powerful shots. Boom. Jump back a little too far, but boom. Now we're in Twilight Tango. Now these are the Death Knell. And now we're going to cast Res Lib again, which is the Fatal Finale. And we've defeated the enemy. And that is the end of her animations for attacking. So, as you can see here, we had the intro skill. I don't believe we actually had the outro skill, because I believe they swapped in Judgy before it was skill time. Let me see here just to make sure I didn't miss it. I don't believe I did. Yeah, no, they just swapped to Judgy. We didn't get to see the outro skill. But we saw the intro skill. We've seen her normal attack, resonance skill, resonance liberation there. I've explained what multiple crystalline substance is, and so that is that. Basically, her intro skill is just dealing damage. Her outro skill is also just dealing glacial damage. She has 2 inherent skills, as all people do. We have Flawless Purity, which after casting your resonance skill, Chromatic Splendor, Carlotta can perform mid-air attacks while being immune to any damage or interruptions before the mid-air attack deals damage. So you're going to be in mid-air, as you saw with her resonance skill, where she kind of leaps into the air. And while you're in mid-air, before you attack, you're immune to damage and you're immune to interruption. But once you land the damage, then you're no longer immune. And when Carlotta's on the team, the active resonator's flight stamina cost is reduced by 20%. So that helps you kind of stay in the air for longer because your stamina is not being depleted so quickly. And then her other inherent skill, Ars Gratia Artis, intro skill, Wintertime Aria, resonance skill, Chromatic Splendor, and resonance liberation, Death Knell, and heavy attack, Imminent Oblivion can inflict deconstruction, which I mentioned ignores 18% of their defense. So this helps you do more damage. Now to end it off with a resonance chain, I will make a further guide when she actually comes out and we actually get her, showing you what echoes to use, what stats you want on those echoes. But before she's out now, her resonance chain, we've got the 6 levels. First one, Beauty blazes brightest before it fades. I will also give my actual opinion on what I think you should kind of be going for here on these in better detail when she actually comes out, and I've kind of seen more from her. But this right here, her first one, when Carlotta deals damage to a target inflicted with deconstruction, the crit rate of this instance damage is increased by 12.5%. When Resonance skill Chromatic Splendor hits a target inflicted with dispersion, Carlotta additionally restores 30 points of substance. So this one is a nice one to get because it makes it easier to get substance, and you also deal more damage, or at least I should say the crit rate is increased, which will end up dealing more damage because you'll get more crits. So this one is pretty nice. If you wanted to go for this one, this would be nice. Her second one, Fallen Petals give life to new blooms. The damage multiplier of Resonance Liberation Fatal Finale is increased by 126%. This is basically just you do more damage on that Fatal Finale. This one I wouldn't say as important. I'd say 1 is definitely of more importance because it really helps you get more substance, and it'll just make using the character kind of easier. 3, Adelante, Cortado, Spinning and Grace. You can see here, enable outro skill Kaleidoscope Sparks. You will deal 1 additional strike at the end of the outro skill closing remark, dealing glacio damage equal to 1032.18% of Carlotta's attack. The damage multiplier of the Resonance skill Art of Violence and Resonance skill Chromatic Splendor will also increase by 93%. So it's almost doubling your Resonance skill attack damage there when using your Resonance skill. So that is pretty useful. That's a pretty powerful one. I'd still say 1 is the most useful right now. These 2 are just dealing more damage. And then 4, Yesterday's Raindrops make Finest Wine. Casting Heavy Attack, Containment Tactics, and Heavy Attack Imminent Oblivion grant all resonators in the team 25% resonance skill damage bonus for 30 seconds. This one is nice as it gives you more resonance skill damage bonus when after using your heavy attack. 5, Toast to Past, Today, and Every Day to Come. The damage multiplier Heavy Attack Imminent Oblivion is increased by 47%. If you get to 4, that 5 one is kind of nice because now it's helping you do more damage with the heavy attack that you're probably going to use. And then 6, Whale Territory. I mean, 4, 5, and 6 are all whale. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are whale territory, but as the curtain falls, I remain what I am. Shots of Resonance Liberation Death Knell deal higher damage and shoot out double the number of crystal shards, representing a total increase of 186.6% in the damage multiplier of Resonance Liberation Death Knell. Shots of Resonance Liberation Death Knell inflict scattering on targets when hit, during which the target is immobilized. This effect is removed after 1.5 seconds, or the target receives damage. I don't know why they made scattering something different than dispersion, because they're the same thing. They're mobilized for 1.5 seconds. I guess dispersion, they're still mobilized after you deal damage, and scattering, they're not. So that's the difference, but they're very similar. So yeah, if I was going to give you an opinion, if you're going to go for more beyond just getting her once, I would say go for 1. Everything after 1, you're just kind of dealing more damage. But 3, I'd say is 3 or 4 is the next most useful after 1. And then 6 is going to make you hit like an absolute freight train in the death knell, but that's, you know, you're wailing out. But that is Carlotta. So let me know, are you going to pull for Carlotta? Let me know in the comments down below. What are you most excited about? Are you going to save instead for Roccia? Let me know your thoughts on Carlotta down below. But I'm excited for 2.0. I hope you are too. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.